Hello and welcome to another special chat where I'm talking to probably one of my favorite artists at the moment. I'm actually going to see her in London on the 2nd of February and I can't wait. And also, one of her songs is literally on every single country playlist I have right now that Spotify give me. It's called Somebody Like That. And she's had some amazing tunes out and there's some great songs out at the moment. And the latest is obviously Jealous of Myself and Motel on the Moon. Please welcome Tenille Arts. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
How are things out in Nashville at the moment?
Things are good. It's a little bit of a gloomy day, but we're just hanging in there. At least it's not like up in Canada where it was minus 40 degrees for Christmas. So
Yeah,
it's all right.
how was that? Because obviously in the UK we see one speck of frost and everyone like panics. So in terms of the snow, how does that work with you guys?
Well, I mean, Nashville freaks out, but Canada, it's like you've got snow all the time. So it doesn't phase you.
Amazing. Right, so how have you been then? What have you been up to? I can see that lots has been going on. We're at the start of 2023 already, and I feel like it's going to be a big year for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been really busy, been out on the road, visiting some radio stations here in the US. We do a thing called Radio Tour here, which you just go around and say hi to everybody and
Mm.
share your new song with them. So I've been doing that recently, which is a lot of travel, and just got back from a show in Texas. So it's just kind of all over the place, definitely having a lot of fun being back out on the road after a few years of not being able to do that. So happy to
Yeah.
be back up.
Yeah. Taking it back though, 2 years, somebody like that. I'm going to talk about it because it's probably everywhere I go. It's like Spotify just gives it to me, which isn't a problem because I love it. It's great. Is that a song that you're constantly being asked about?
Absolutely, but I love it because it's like that song made a huge dream of mine come
Mm.
true. So, uh, yeah, it's definitely one of those things. Like sometimes people are like, "Oh, aren't you tired of playing it?" And I'm like, "No, I love every single time that I get to play that song and get to celebrate with the fans and people that made, all of that happen for me." So I love
Mm.
it.
Mm. And I can imagine it will get a big reception when you arrive here in the UK. Obviously, you're hitting London on the 2nd of February. I can't wait. I've got tickets. I will be there myself. How excited are you to be here?
Very excited. I always try to, I mean, I would be there like 4 times a year if I could be. But yeah, I always try to make it back as often as I can, and I'm very excited to be there because just having just one show, I want to make it really special and have some really cool things like play all my instruments and all of those things. So I'm very excited for that. And then playing with the Song Suffragettes is going to be really fun too because the last time I did that was probably a year ago here in
Mm.
Nashville. So glad to be back with them too.
Has it been hard to pick the set list?
Yes, I've had a few social media requests for certain songs, and so I'm trying to like mix them in the best that I can.
Yeah, and you've obviously had two recent singles, Jealous of Myself, which you've played on the show, which has gone down really well over here. And I'm assuming over there as well. But what is the kind of premise behind that one?
So Jealous of Myself is kind of uh like the one that got away in a sense. But people, once they listen by the end of the chorus, they learn that I'm talking about myself, missing myself when I was with that person. So it's this really cool twist. And it's actually a song that I found on TikTok. One of the songwriters had posted it and said, like, does anybody want to sing this song? I'm, pitching it around, which pitching is just like sending songs around to artists. And yeah, they posted this song and I loved it. I was obsessed with it. And so I had my team reach out and found out that Emily Wiseman wrote it with John Byron and Trevor Rosen from Old Dominion. So it was just this really great team of songwriters. And then I went in the studio and recorded it with Nathan Chapman, who did all of the early Taylor Swift stuff. So it was just this really cool group of people, and I'm really proud of the way that it turned out. So I hope it does well.
I think it's definitely doing well. Does that happen a lot then in terms of finding songs on TikTok? Is that like kind of the way, or part of the way to do it now?
I don't know. I've never ever heard of anybody else doing that, but Emily was just posting this series of songs of that she was hoping people would record, or songs that she wrote for major artists. So it was very random, but it might become the new thing. I don't know.
I mean, it's great if it happens all the time, for sure. I can imagine. But obviously, Motel on the Moon as well. I've had it on most of the day, to be fair. I knew I was obviously talking to you, and I'm seeing you in a couple of weeks, but it's great and I love it.
Thank you. That was actually one that I wrote during when I was writing the Girl to Girl album. That song was in the mix, and I just kept coming back to it, and I really, really liked it. And so it was written over Zoom during the pandemic, and I just loved it and wanted to put it out. So yeah, it's kind of, sometimes you write a song and it might not fit like that exact moment, but then you can come back to it and put it out. So that's what happened with that song. And I just think it's a really cool concept of, you know, when someone asks you for space, it's like, well, how far? You know, I need to go to a motel on the moon.
You need to know. You need to
Yeah.
know, don't you? One thing I did see, you posted on socials that you're manifesting some, you know, collabs for 2023.
Yeah.
It's a great list. It's a great list. We've got the 1975, who I saw a couple of weeks ago, actually, just amazing. Taylor Swift, obviously. And then we've got John Harvey on there, so I'm sure we can organise that. And we've got Maisie Peters, Julia Michaels, Jordan Davis, and a few other names as well. Is there a name on there that you're like, okay, scrap a lot of you? It's not that you would say that, but who is number one on that list?
Probably Taylor Swift. You know, she's going out on the Eras tour, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be so, so cool. But I'm also obsessed with the 1975 now, so that'd be really cool too.
They are a crazy band. That's one way I could say it. They're definitely
crazy. I'm like, I've gone down the TikTok rabbit hole. Like, I know how crazy these shows have been, and I got to see them in Nashville, and it was really great. But yeah, it would have been nice to be. They just performed in London, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it went down a treat. And funnily enough, I didn't see them the night that Taylor Swift came out. Just appeared, as she does.
Yeah.
But
wow.
still
Well,
so
you're
great.
there for a really cool moment. That's awesome.
It was great. Talking about collab, well, not sort of collabs. You're heading out on tour with Lee Brice, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I'm going back to Canada, going across Canada with him, and I'm very excited for that because I haven't performed this is crazy, but I haven't performed or done shows in Canada in almost 3 years.
Wow.
So I'm very, very excited. I did one show on New Year's Eve, but other than that, like, I just haven't been able to get back up there. I was supposed to be up there with Dierks Bentley, but that tour got canceled. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to do that.
So you got that tour, obviously in Canada. You're coming over to the UK as well. How do the shows kind of differ for you? Do you prepare for them differently, or is it, you know, a show to your fans and that's what it's seen as?
I definitely prepare a little differently. Something that's so cool for me about London is that people kind of dive into your whole catalog of music, which is really, really cool. So like I said before, like, there have been some fan requests that are songs that I don't normally play in my show. So if people request them, and if I'm going all the way over there, I'm going to try to play what they want to hear. So I definitely kind of cater my shows to that, and try to, you know, put together the best set for where I'm going to be.
And the audiences as well. Are we a bit rowdy over here?
You're rowdy, but you're so you listen so intently, which is so awesome. And so that means that I get to do some of these songs that you know, are very, like, some of the ballads and things like that I get to talk about and then play. People just listen a little differently over there. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
There we go. Right. Talking about knowledge, I don't know, that's a really bad segue, but talking about knowledge, we're going to play a game now, which I like to test all my guests on the show. It's called Keep Calm and Name Country. Now, before we started, you did briefly, well, you did accept the challenge. It's tough because you're doing it. But it's called Keep Calm and Name Country, and you've got 30 seconds to name as many songs as you can by an artist, a country artist that you pick. What artist are you going to pick?
I'm going to do the Chicks, I think.
There we go. Never been done before, so this is good. This is good. This is good. Okay. I know I didn't give you exactly much revision to do, or didn't give you much time to prepare, but sorry.
I'm gonna do my best. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm going to remember this in 2 weeks' time when you're headlining in London. So, okay. So you have 30 seconds if you're ready to name as
Okay.
many songs by the Chicks, and your time starts now.
Wide Open Spaces, Not Ready to Make Nice, Landslide cover, Goodbye Earl, Taking the Long Way. Oh my gosh.
Nearly half your time.
Now I'm totally blanking. That's 5.
10 seconds left.
I don't know. I'm just gonna go with 5.
4, 3,
I'm
2,
literally blanking so hard.
1.
I know so many more songs by them. That was a terrible, yeah, that was a terrible representation.
It's one of those things though, isn't it? You just completely go blank, and I'm sorry for that. I get told off all the time from guests saying that's not fair, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So
all right, I love them, and any other day I could probably name more, but it's all good.
if you're prepared, I'm sorry. But the funny thing is now you'll probably go naming songs and think of some throughout the whole day now. So I'm sorry.
Exactly. It's totally fine.
So just quickly, obviously we're at the start of the year. We know we've got lots of things going on for 2023. What is the plan then? Where do you want to be at the end of the year?
So I'm working on a new album, which is really soon after the last one, but I've written a lot of things and have been kind of going through all of the songs that I've written and finding some gems in there. So I'm working on a new album, been in the studio, been working on some collaborations and things like that. So very excited. So there's going to be a lot of new music and a lot of shows and getting to see people. So I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing. Well, we can't wait for it. I can't wait for the 2nd of February. We can't wait to have you back in the UK. And all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. See you there.